Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters Encounters video. Thank you so much everyone for your continued suggestions on the aliens and UFO side. Please keep them coming. I'm going to go ahead and do a new set of videos very soon. But I wanted to mix this one in here because it has to do once again with a subject matter that I touch upon every now and then here on this playlist, mainly when I come across something that I feel merits posting here, especially because it's a subject that I'm still enamored with. It's something that I just find so fascinating that has to do with the idea of tulpas. So I do follow the reddit.com website there, the subreddit called Tulpas. Every now and then there's a story, an encounter that comes about there that I feel I want to share here. And in this case, it has to do with a user that says that their tulpas or their tulpamancy ended up ruining their mental health. I'll explain more here in a minute, but it goes to show the dangers associated with tulpas. I still am up in the air as to whether they truly exist or not. But to err on caution, I still think that there's a lot of risk that's associated with them. You have to be very careful when it comes to that world, and I'll highlight more on that here in a minute. But it's the user that's called Ember Dragon 240, and they titled theirs as Tulpamancy Ruined My Mental Health, and I don't know what to do now. So here's what they say. I made a mistake, a big one, and I don't know if I can fix it. Back in April, I got hyper-fixated on plurality, specifically endogenic systems / tulpas. I already knew about their existence beforehand. I just got very into the topic around this time. So only really knowing about this for a day at 2 a.m., I decided to make a bit of a rash decision. I decided to try and make a tulpa. I already knew a little bit about it. I thought I'd try and research as I went on, and I really did feel like I wanted to do this at the time. Eventually, though, a few days afterwards to a week, I felt like I was probably going a little bit too fast, so I agreed with Enid, my former tulpa, I think, to have her go dormant for a little bit while I tried to figure out what the F I was doing a bit more. Note, she wasn't fully formed or sentient at this time. Eventually, after about a week, maybe of bringing her back just to send her back down, maybe even longer, I decided to dissipate her for a good while since it just didn't feel right, I guess. Plurality was just feeling wrong. I didn't feel like my own person anymore. Whenever I was doing things, I had to put Enid into consideration, it seemed like, and it was just not working out. I know this would probably be a controversial decision, but it's too late to really do anything about it, I think. And so I think it's important to know that I was not in the best mental state during this time period. I haven't really been for my whole life. I had a diagnosis for generalized anxiety disorder before it was presumably replaced by a level 1 autism spectrum disorder diagnosis when I was 9. My report at the time did say, however, that I seemed to have unspecified anxiety disorder. So make of that if you will. I do, however, hope to try and get re-diagnosed. Anyways, I think I say it was especially bad back then, to be honest. My friend was dealing with severe mental health issues at the time and attempted blank a few weeks before I did this. None of this was a direct reason I created Enid, but I think it is worth mentioning. Now to the problem. Ever since this all happened, even though I think my friend was already making me depressed, or maybe making already underlying depression worse, but I can't say for certain, I feel like it has gotten so much worse since I created Enid. I've heard of people who feel empty after dissipating a tulpa, but I didn't think I'd had her for long enough for it to happen or to be this bad. I made a stupid decision, I know. I should have looked into this better before I blindly hopped in, but yeah, damage had already been done, I think. She wasn't fully sentient either, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what to do. I can't stop thinking about no matter how hard I try, nothing I do fills this hole I feel inside me, let alone for a long time, no form of entertainment, nothing. I don't know. I just think that I just want to know if there was even anything I can do at this point, or is this permanent? I hope to God it isn't. Another note probably worth mentioning. I'm a minor, more specifically a teenager, so I wonder if hormones might also be part of this, to be honest. God, I made such a dumb move. I need to move on, but I have no idea how. F me. Then that's it. That's everything that the user Ember Dragon 240 mentioned in their experience. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. So as you can see, it looks like this user was in a downtrodden state. It was almost like a mental health slash high set of emotion situation where she stated at 2 a.m. she just decided to make, as she described, a rash decision. All of a sudden she made a tulpa. I don't know exactly again how that world works. Like how long does it take? What do you have to do? I don't really want to know either because I don't want to go into that field and accidentally make one. Although I've read that it takes a while. Like it's not going to be suddenly by accident, like tripping over things and then there's a tulpa. The idea I read is that you have to work at it and you have to work at it for a while, like weeks and so on, maybe even months if it's not successful enough. And then boom, there's a tulpa right there. But in this case, it looks like it just happened right overnight. Well, anyways, she was saying that it was going on for a few days and then a few weeks. And then the tulpa was there, but it wasn't fully formed slash sentient. And then she decided to dissipate it. So that seems like it's a little strange too. Again, I highly caution risks when it comes to creating tulpas, because if the idea is that they are truly individual beings, they may not like having to be put away. I mean, would you, like, when it comes to that? So in her case, she did that. She brought it back. She sent it back, brought it back, sent it back. And then all of a sudden Enid is away, or so it seems like. But also Enid, which was the name of the user's tulpa, also seems to be doing some things on the back end, like making her depressed is the impression that she got. It's like she almost feels sad and empty, and she didn't realize that that was going to happen afterwards. So now she's in a worse state than was before the actual tulpa was created. It all ties back to what I was mentioning at the beginning as far as being careful on this stuff. I would never try it. I'm never going to do anything involving tulpas, no matter what, not even for a YouTube experiment, nothing. Because to me, the idea that the mind is pretty powerful and it can create something like this, and then you can't put it away, that's no good. That's no bueno at that point. It's like opening a door to like a Ouija board. Like people tell me to do Ouija board stuff here, and I'm like, no, thank you, because you open a door and who knows if you can ever close it afterward too. You don't have that control, and that control is taken from you, and so it's going to be a far different world at that point. And I do not want to have anything like that. Like I do my ghost hunts, but we always do it with trepidation, and we always make sure, damn sure, that the items, the ghosts, the spirits that are there stay there, that there's nothing that can do to follow us or make sure that they can show up anywhere else all of a sudden where we don't want them to be. That's not going to happen. And so something involving the world of tulpas and the idea that you're doing it straight from your home and that they stay there, that's a big no-no for me. But let me know, tulpas, as far as the discussion associated with them, creating them, what happened to this user, and then Enid. Does anyone else have any type of similar stories? I'd love to hear about them in the comments. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.